Hi, welcome to Art and Soul. My name is Mike Severin, and that's my little fire pit that I start every day out when the weather is accommodating to do my devotions and drink my coffee and just kind of reflect on the day. Today is kind of a different day for me. I'm decided to do a little thing from the studio. A lot of people have asked about my studio and where I work from, and they're doing some things at the studio this week where I couldn't go in and record, so I thought I'd just do a little quick video from home on my phone. So today is kind of different because I'm just going to show you some different creative things. The show is called Art and Soul, and it's a process that, I think everybody needs to have some sort of a creative outlet. And so maybe I'm going to give you a couple, maybe some ideas of things that you might want to do, and just that might spark something in your mind of some possibilities that you could do. So I'm just going to walk around here a little bit. It's just starting to sprinkle on this November day, and I'll try to get into the studio before I get all wet. So anyway, here's kind of some ideas. This that you see here, they're just plates that are stacked on each other, dishes, and you can pick up things like this at garage sales and Goodwill, whatever, and they're just glued together. It's just stacked up. Just a little way of being creative and some outside cool little yard art. Here's another little one that's here, and this is one that I made here that the wings of this dragonfly are actually tin, and then I just glued on those little embellishments there of the little glass beads. Just kind of a cool little idea, just something a little different. And we go over here, and here's another one of those little upright statues made out of a wine bottle there on the bottom, and just the different layers of glass that have been glued together. And then down beside it, there's a big concrete leaf. Just find big leaves, and I put down a bed of sand and lay the leaf down, and then pour the mix of concrete on the top of it. And when it dries, you just pull the leaf off, and you have these nice, beautiful impressions of the leaves. This one here has been painted. You can see kind of some variations in the color. And I'll show you one more over here. This is a really large one. It's probably it's over 2 foot up, or up and down, and probably 2 foot across. And again, I painted it. It was just with some different variations of colors, just to kind of make it a little nicer there. And then I just clear coat them. And then we head over to the studio, and I'll show you this. This is obviously a dragonfly that has been mosaiced. Kind of a nice little addition on the wall there. And there's the inside of the studio. We'll get to that in just a minute, but I wanted to show you on the door here. This is a picture that I painted. Just kind of, just another way of using some creative talents, and I think it's fun to kind of do things that are a little bit different. So now it's time to go inside the studio. It's awfully cold out there and windy. So this is my little studio, and I share this studio with a stained glass artist, and so the one that predominantly uses it, but she does get in here occasionally and get some work done. There's a couple of pictures that I recently, one on the bottom is one that I did here a few weeks ago, and the one on the top is one that's work in progress. It's going to be a couple that are dancing in the rain, and I actually had the bodies already blocked in and painted, and I wasn't happy with the way that the path was, so last night I took and covered them up, and hopefully here in the next few days when the paint starts drying I can get back to that one. And probably hear Kenny G playing in the background there. I always listen to that. Some snack foods there that I always have in the studio, and a couple of them that I finished here that I actually clear coated this morning so that they're ready to be sold and shipped out. And one of Nadine's creations that she's working on right now, that she was just doing some layout there. And just swing around some of her equipment there on the table, and there's a couple of pictures up there that I've done on the wall. That's the one that kind of was the inspiration for the one that we're working on in the studio for the show. And kind of swinging around here. There's another one that I finished up here a few days ago. And there's 4 pictures there that are in different various stages of completion. And I usually have at least 4 or 5 of them going at a time. And then up on the easel right now is one that's going to be an oval picture, and it's on masonite, and rather than cutting out the oval and trying to figure out how to hold it onto the easel to paint, I just made the oval and did the background there, my base color, and when I get the picture completed, then I'll take and go ahead and with the jigsaw cut it out. And that's actually the picture I'm doing. This is of a artist that I've mentioned on the show, Jean Marie, up in Portland, portrait artist. And this is a picture of her in her studio painting, and I thought this was awesome and thought that would make a really cool painting on this oval. And I've got a nice oval frame that it'll go in. But you can see, I just, very simple. A lot of my paints down there on the below me there on the floor, and my palette. Of course, I always have candles going next to the easel. I just really enjoy having some ambiance, if you want to call it that, while I'm painting. And of course, the view out of the studio is really, really nice, really inspiring. Makes me feel very much at ease. And like I said, music, it's always good to have in the background. I've got different ones that I listen to all the time. Just kind of whatever inspires you. So that's just kind of a quick little overview of my studio, and I just, I think everybody needs a space that they can create in that's really kind of fits their needs and makes them feel comfortable. I spend hours and hours and hours in here every day, and it's a great retreat for me. It makes me feel comfortable. I feel so at ease and feel very creative when I'm in here. But a lot of it has to do with the mood that you're setting for yourself. I talk about it on the show all the time about how our world is crazy and our schedules are crazy. I think it's nice to have a place that you can go into, turn some music on, light a few candles, and just get yourself kind of in that relaxed state of mind where you're forgetting about the cares and the worries about the world. And I know that sometimes is very difficult to do, to make that time, but please do. And as you can see, there's lots of different things that you can do to be creative. If painting isn't your thing, that's okay. Like I said, maybe you could do some of those yard ornaments that I showed outside with the glass, stacked glass, or one of those concrete leaves. They're real easy to make. You can go down and get some mortar mix and find a big leaf, and you're good to go. And like I said, Nadine, she does all of this stained glass, and beautiful work that she does. And her schedule doesn't allow her to get in here as much as she would like either. But she does, and that's the most important part is, finding that time, making time for you, I think that's so important. We worry about everyone else's lives and family and friends, and sometimes we forget about the most important thing, and that's you. And until you, are comfortable and you get your energies and your batteries all charged up, you're going to run out of energy trying to help others. So, that all being said, I am just really glad and blessed to have you following me and being a part of my life. The show has been such a blessing to me, and I love hearing how it's affected and blessed others that have been watching the show. So it's been a blessing for both of us, and that makes it really worthwhile for me. God has moved in many, many great ways in my life since the show has begun, and the timing that God has in His plan for us is just perfect all the time. So that all being said, I'll just let you go. I look forward to getting back into the studio next week as normal and finishing up that apple basket that we started called Broken Buckets. CJ, as always, I love you.